how to avoid these 3 pitfalls on these display and mounting interior mods. Good morning, guys. What's up? This is Drew with Trail Hunter Overland. We're going to be going over a couple interior mods that I had installed over here, a couple things I screwed up, and some do's and don'ts for how to install them. So first thing that I want to cover, I know you guys see a couple things on the screen here, but is the screen protection. So whether it's over here on the large infotainment system, on the gauge cluster, on these screens over here next to the temperature controls, and then the small screens right next to the shift knob. So the company that I went with, as you guys can see over here, is Screenprotech. What they'll do is they will send you a tube with all the screens, or all of the screen protectors for all these screens, for the infotainment system, for this one, and the gauge cluster is going to come. It's going to look like this. It'll have a little edge there that you can pull from. Mine's kind of creased over here because I put my elbow on it. I'll share a little bit later. I did not use the infotainment system screen from Screenprotech, and I'll explain that in a little bit as to why. So what they're going to send with this is obviously all of the screen protectors. They're going to send this rubber pliable squeegee. They're going to send a bottle that'll have soap in it. You're just going to put some water in it, and then it'll create that soap solution that you're going to be utilizing between the screens and your screen protector. And of course, they're also going to send this rag over here that you'll be using. So one thing that I kind of messed up on, not kind of, I definitely did. When I applied this screen protector, it said to apply the solution on the screen that you're going to be applying it to, as well as the backside of the screen protector before you put it on. And I figured that's kind of overkill. I'm just going to spray the screen protector over there, not the screen protector, but the screen, and then I'll apply the screen protector, and that'll be fine. This thing settled in like 2 seconds, and it definitely would have been a better idea if I sprayed not just the screen, but also the backside of the screen protector. And that's what I should have definitely done, because when I applied it, it settled in about 2 seconds. I'm like, crap, now I have to take this entire thing off, go through the hassle, and redo it all over again. So first tip, make sure that you do follow those directions. Literally apply this spray onto the screens. It doesn't matter what screen it is. Then as you're peeling, obviously I can't use 2 hands here because I'm recording with the other one, but as you're peeling and you're pulling away, spray it, continue pulling away from it, spray it, continue peeling away, spray it, and then put the entire thing on. You want to have a bunch of spray on both sides so you can manipulate this screen protector until it settles in place. So first pro tip when it comes to that. Now, as I was saying, I did not use this screen protector on my large infotainment system, and that's mainly because I got 2 kiddos, one that's 3, one that's 7. I'm hoping that they wouldn't do anything crazy like throw Legos around or anything else, but that can still happen. So with that being said, I used a company on Amazon, pretty generic. It's called Bibibo, B-I-B-I-B-O. It is a tempered glass screen protector off Amazon, anti-glare, works really well, and it was pretty cheap. You can kind of see that edge right there runs across the entire thing, and that way if they do throw something at it, I don't have to worry about it being hurt or damaged in any way. Now, one last thing when it comes to the application of the screen protector from Screenprotech over here, when you are using their squeegee, you're going to squeegee from center and out along all of the pieces, whether it's here. These are some really small ones, but you're going to squeegee from center to out. I was fortunate that I was able to get all the bubbles out, but they will cure, and over time those bubbles will dissipate away. What you can also use to kind of minimize the possibility of creasing any of these screens as you're using this squeegee is you can but basically encase it within this rag and then just press from the center and squeegee it out. This way there's no rough edges or hard edges that are going to be going up against your screen. But that is from Screenprotech. So that is the first tip. Next thing that I want to touch base on, as you guys can see, is this bullet point, but specifically is this Mob Armour charger that I have over here and mounting option. What I used to have in this corner And some of you guys might be wondering, why do I have two? That's because I have two phones. One of them I'm going to use for some navigation purposes outside of the main screen, which I also watch some movies on, or the kiddos watch movies on, and then also just have my phone separate and not have to switch between those two screens. But on this side over here, what my previous mounting option was this phone holder right here. And honestly, it was out of the way. It didn't obstruct any of my point of view when driving, but it just overall was pretty large, and I wanted something smaller, functional, and just less obstructive overall. So I got this Armour phone holder on a magnet. The magnet side attaches to the phone, which I'm holding, but I have another phone for reference here. So it would go on the back side and go on the screen. As far as the metal plate, it can go on the phone itself or on the screen, not screen, but the phone protector. And then the magnet would just hold right there in place. You can hold it vertically, horizontally, and it locks it in place really well. The issue is that I wanted to have a wireless charger. And so when I had this metal plate on the back of the phone, it just didn't charge anymore. Whether it's here or on my wireless charger that I have over here, none of this, that's pretty cool, but none of this held in place. And so that was a lesson that I learned, is that if you want to have wireless charging, you cannot have a metal plate on that back of that phone. And so that was a hard lesson to learn. I then had to purchase this additional piece, which basically is also magnetized, and it'll attach onto the backside of this Armour holder. And then from here, you can run this cable. And what I'm going to have, I don't currently have, but what I'm going to have is this is going to run right to here. And in one of these slots, and I'm actually going to have additional ones here, but in one of these slots for a switch, I'm going to have a USB, and it'll just have a short cable. It'll run right into there. It won't go across the screen or anything, which I currently have to do because I don't have that here. I don't have that yet. Over here, really quick, I do have some cable management, and that is from Bullet Point. So I used what I ordered from there, just one of these in this corner, runs through there. It'll be nice and sleek, and it'll finish right there. So that's what that's going to look like. But that is a lesson over there. If you do want to use them, make sure that you get this charger, and I am going to include a picture of what the round metal magnet attaches to, so it doesn't get in the way of the charging there. So that's the Armour mounting or phone mount that I use over here. Also, pro tip, when you are installing this, attach your phone to it and then take off that protective layer that is in between the glue, because otherwise, if you already set it, it's going to be set in place, and then you're going to put your phone on it, and you're going to be like, crap, this doesn't really line up the way that I want. So put the phone onto it, have it already on top of this holder, then take that protective layer off before you set it into place, because then you'll set it into place as to how you want to see that phone when you're driving around. So really quick tip when it comes to that. Then lastly is this mounting solution. You'll notice over here I have a holder for the radio, and then also for the phone itself. I like this. Again, I didn't want to have to mess around with the wireless charging over here. I don't have to. I mean, with the plugged in charging over here, I have the wireless, so I don't have to. But if you don't need wireless charging, then you don't really have to worry about this as far as the metal plate. And over here, you don't have to get the specific one, the phone holder that has the wireless charging with it. This one's kind of cool. You just press the button, this thing opens up, and then you just drop your phone into there and hold it in place. Oh crap, that kind of got lowered. All right, this isn't working. There we go. All right, so that locks it in place. I wanted to set up my phone holder in such a way where the phone, and this is my vantage point when I'm sitting, I want it to line up with the edge of that car or with the edge of the front hood, so that way it's not obstructing my view. So one of the key things that you're going to want to keep in mind when you are setting this thing up, and I'm going to go into the details of this bullet point in a little bit, is that make sure that you get these risers, these 1/2-inch risers over here, because when you do install this, if you install it directly to this plate without these 1/2-inch risers, This angle that this mount is going to come up off of is going to make this phone sit much higher than it needs to. Right now I have it set up right here. I have it set up a little bit higher than the actual edge of the screen, and that's because if I hold it any lower, it's going to be in the way of that screen. So it's, for me, it's set up right in a place where it doesn't obstruct my view over the hood, and also it doesn't obstruct my view over here. So again, this is where the radio is going to mount over here, and this is currently where I have my phone. When I'm not overlanding, I just switch these two out. I put this phone holder right here, really easy to switch, takes less than a minute, and I take this radio mount and I put it onto the other what if you want to call this stick, and I just put this away in that area. So that's kind of my mounting solution over here, and I'm going to go into how I installed this and things, tips and tricks, do's and don'ts as it relates to that. So let's go over to the other side. All right, guys, so right here we have our bullet point mounting solution for the 24 Tacoma. First thing that you're going to do is use this tool that they're going to give you. You're going to take out this plastic piece right here. It'll easily pop out. After that, you're going to drill some holes with the template that they're going to provide into there. Then you're going to put that plastic piece back in, and this bracket is going to come over it, and you're going to put the screws through those holes, and it's going to mount it into place, super secure, not going anywhere. After that, again, make sure that you have these risers when it comes to this larger screen, and you're going to mount however many of these mounts that you want into the bracket. Set it up however you want for your viewing. This just happens to be the two things that I'm using over here, and that's it. Now, because I do have the wireless charging going on, I have a cable that mounts directly into this, have some cable management going on here, as well as on the inside right here, and my cable runs down through here and into a little corner slot over here. I did take a drummer tool, made a small little hole in the corner, and then ran that down. Runs on the inside. You can see a little bit of it through here, comes out here, and then plugs in right here. Now, the way that I did that, first thing you do is you're going to open up your glove box. You're going to pull this down, comes out really easily. Again, use the tools. Pull this down, comes out really easily. After that, this comes up really easily, and there's little brackets that lock it into place probably about every 4 or 5 inches or so. So it'll be one here, one here, one here, and then one here. The last one I could not kind of get past, so I do have a really small, maybe millimeter space between the black and this gray right here at the end. But again, that's where I drilled a little hole in the corner that no one's going to see unless I'm pointing it out like I am currently, where this cable it runs through, and then, like I said, runs on the inside and plugs in right there. Well, what you guys probably noticed over here, again, that is my magic box. I have this set up, runs right into here, and that's, you know, where my kiddos on these longer trips can watch movies. But those are the three things that I wanted to mention in this video: the display and the mounting options and things to avoid as you're working with them. All right, hope you guys liked the video, and like, subscribe. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.